You see, life is funny. We spend our younger years stressing over things that won't matter when we're older. And by the time we're old enough to know better, we wonder why we ever wasted so much energy in the first place. At this point in my life, I've figured out that peace isn't about having a perfect life. It's about knowing what not to give a damn about. Some things are just not worth your energy. You can chase after every little worry, try to please every person, get angry at every inconvenience, or you can shrug, smile, and keep moving. Trust me, your blood pressure will thank you. People will always have opinions. Annoying things will always happen. Time will keep marching forward whether you like it or not. The real secret? Learning to let go. The less baggage you carry, the lighter your soul feels. So, tell me, what's one thing you've stopped worrying about that made your life better? Drop it in the comments. And if this video gave you even a little peace of mind, hit that like button, subscribe, and let's keep figuring out this whole life thing together. Until next time, breathe easy, my friend. 1. Ignore the fear of aging. Time will flow. Regardless, if I had spent my whole life worrying about every little thing, I would have been a walking ball of stress with a permanent frown. But here I am, pushing a century, still cracking jokes, still enjoying my morning walks, and still not giving unnecessary worries a seat at my dinner table. You see, peace isn't about having a life where nothing goes wrong. That kind of life doesn't exist outside of fairy tales and maybe retirement commercials. Real peace comes from knowing which battles are worth fighting and which ones are just noise in the background. It comes from realizing that some things, like wrinkles, nosy neighbors, and the price of gas, are simply out of your control. So why lose sleep over them? I've seen people spend their whole lives chasing perfection, approval, and an extra zero in their bank accounts, only to realize too late that they were running in circles. The happiest folks I know, they're the ones who learn to let go. They don't sweat the small stuff. They don't hold grudges like unpaid debts. And they sure as heck don't let other people's opinions dictate their peace. At the end of the day, the goal isn't to have a life free of problems. It's to have a mind free of pointless worries. So if something's been weighing on you, ask yourself, will this matter in 5 years? Will this make me a better, happier person? If the answer is no, let it go. Your sanity is worth more than your pride. Now, I want to hear from you. What's something you've stopped caring about that made your life easier? Drop it in the comments. And if this little chat helped you breathe a little lighter, hit that like button, subscribe, and let's keep walking this path of wisdom together. Until next time, stay wise, stay light, and for heaven's sake, don't let a bad hair day ruin your mood. 2. Ignore others' opinions. They change like the wind. Let me tell you a little secret. People's opinions are like the weather. One day, it's all sunshine and compliments, and the next, a full-blown storm of criticism. If you spend your life trying to please everyone, you'll be running around like a headless chicken, and let me tell you, that's no way to live. I've been around long enough to see how quickly folks change their minds. When I was young, people had opinions about how I should dress, what job I should take, who I should marry. Then, when I did exactly what I wanted, guess what? They still had opinions. Some people praised me, some shook their heads, and some probably whispered behind my back like they were broadcasting the evening news. But at the end of the day, I was the one living my life, not them. The truth is, most people don't even know what they want for themselves, let alone what's best for you. Their opinions say more about them than they do about you. Someone who tells you, that's a terrible idea, is often just projecting their own fears. Someone who says, you shouldn't do that, is usually too afraid to take risks themselves. And those who criticize you the most, they're often the ones too scared to step out of their own comfort zones. So, what's the solution? Simple. Stop living for applause. Focus on what truly makes you happy. If you want to start a new career at 50, do it. If you want to take dance lessons at 70, who cares what anyone thinks? Life's too short to let someone else's opinion hold the remote control to your happiness. At the end of the day, you can't control what people say, but you can control how much it affects you. So, let them talk. You just keep living. Because when you look back on your life, the only opinion that will truly matter is your own. 3. Ignore the small annoyances. Don't let trivial things steal your joy. Life is too short to get worked up over every little irritation. Yet, how many times have we let something completely unimportant ruin our day? Someone cuts you off in traffic. Boom. Now you're fuming for the next 30 minutes. A neighbor gossips about you. Suddenly, you're losing sleep over what they said. The cashier at the grocery store is rude. Next thing you know, you're replaying the interaction in your head like it's the season finale of a TV drama. But here's the thing. None of it truly matters. I've learned something after almost a century on this earth. Some battles just aren't worth fighting. If I had spent my life getting upset over every rude comment, every inconsiderate driver, every tiny inconvenience, I'd have been exhausted before I hit 40. So instead, I made a choice. I let things go. Not because I'm some saint with infinite patience, but because I refuse to waste my precious energy on nonsense. Think about it. Will this thing that's annoying you right now even matter in a week? In a year? In 5 years? If the answer is no, then why on earth are you giving it so much of your time? Life will always throw little irritations our way, that's a given. But the real power lies in choosing which ones deserve a reaction and which ones don't. The next time someone irritates you, try this. Take a deep breath, shake your head, and say, "Not today, stress. Not today." You'll be amazed at how freeing it feels. Because the truth is, the less you let the little things bother you, the more peace you'll have. And at the end of the day, peace is worth far more than winning some silly argument or proving a point to a stranger who'll forget about you in 5 minutes. So let the car cut you off. Let the gossip flow. Let the cashier have a bad day. You've got better things to do, like enjoying your life, one peaceful moment at a time. 4. Ignore the race for more. True wealth is peace. Society loves to sell us the idea that happiness comes with a price tag. A bigger house, a fancier car, a higher salary. Surely, that must mean you've made it, right? But let me tell you something. I've seen plenty of people with money to burn, yet their hearts are empty, their minds are restless, and their lives are anything but peaceful. Meanwhile, I've met folks with just enough to get by, yet they sleep soundly at night, laugh wholeheartedly, and wake up with gratitude instead of stress. See, the problem isn't having money. It's the endless chase for more. More money, more success, more stuff. But here's the catch. It's never enough. You get the car, now you want the luxury model. You buy the house, now you want a bigger one. You get the promotion, now you're eyeing the next one. And before you know it, you've spent your whole life running towards something that never truly satisfies. But what if I told you the richest people aren't the ones with the most, but the ones who need the least? Think about it. The less you need, the less you stress. The less you stress, the happier you become. And happiness, my friend, is worth more than any dollar amount in your bank account. I've lived long enough to know that the best things in life aren't things at all. A heartfelt conversation over coffee, a sunset that makes you pause, a hug from someone who truly cares about you. That's wealth. That's the kind of richness that doesn't fade, doesn't break, and doesn't depend on the stock market. So if you find yourself stuck in the race for more, ask yourself, at what cost? Because at the end of the day, no one lies on their deathbed wishing they had worked more hours or bought fancier shoes. They wish for more time, more love, more memories. Simplify. Let go of the excess. Live more with less. And you might just find that peace was what you were searching for all along. 5. Ignore grudges. They weigh you down, not them. You ever met someone who's been holding onto a grudge for decades? You mention a name, and suddenly their face tightens like they just sucked on a lemon. They'll say, "Oh, don't even bring that person up. Back in 1987, they borrowed my lawnmower and never gave it back." And meanwhile, the other person, they've moved on, probably bought 10 lawnmowers since then, and don't even remember the incident. That's the thing about grudges. They don't hurt the person you're mad at. They hurt you. Holding on to resentment is like drinking poison and expecting the other person to suffer. It eats away at your peace, your joy, and, let's be honest, your energy. Do you really want to spend your precious time on this planet replaying old arguments in your head like a broken record? Now, let's be clear. Forgiveness doesn't mean you have to approve of what happened. It doesn't mean you let people walk all over you. It simply means you're refusing to let past pain control your present happiness. It's about freeing yourself. I once knew a guy who refused to forgive his brother over some inheritance drama. They didn't speak for years. Then one day, his brother passed away. And suddenly, all that anger, all those years of silence, it didn't matter anymore. What did matter was the regret of not letting go sooner. Life is short, my friend. Too short to carry around resentment like a heavy backpack filled with bricks. Drop the weight. Move forward. Not because they deserve it, but because you do. Because peace feels a whole lot better than bitterness. So if you've been holding on to something, some old hurt, some long-standing grudge, ask yourself, is it really worth my happiness? And if the answer is no, maybe it's time to finally let it go. In the end, peace isn't about controlling life. It's about choosing what deserves your energy. Ignore the unnecessary, and you'll find the serenity you've always searched for. What's something you've learned to ignore that brought you peace? Share in the comments below. And if you found value in this, don't forget to like, subscribe, and join us at Elder Mind for more wisdom on living a meaningful life.